back, everyone, to Grey Matter Hounds podcast. It's Bono here, your host for today at the Science Salon where predictive minds explore the world of hounds. Today, we're stepping into something a little different and unusual. We are going to check out Canine Neuropark. Simply put, Neuropark facilities mirror natural environments that are enclosed with a lockable gate, so the owner and dogs don't have to deal with oncoming threats, which decreases uncertainty and therefore impresses the experience of feeling safety. This means both the dog and the owner can be curious and explore, creating new action plans and movements that are energy efficient, which then become new experiences and over time give the systems affordance to act upon the world in different ways, not just the simply good enough threats, so defensive responses people often call reactions or aggression. Now, Neuropark is a space where dogs and humans co-create new experiences, where brains predict the causes of its own movements, then test these action plans that are measured for accuracy by the senses, and then updated if needed. Curiosity becomes possible because the systems feel safe enough to explore its own expectations in the environment. And to understand that, we're going to weave together a few big ideas. So let's carry on. Let's start with an old metaphor like Plato's cave. In that story, prisoners sit in a cave watching shadows on a wall and believing those shadows are reality. From a modern brain perspective, that's not far off. Your dog is experiencing the world indirectly. They are experiencing predictions about what the world might be, not what it actually is. So think about the leash tightening, a rustle in the bushes, the shape of another dog. These aren't raw inputs. They are interpreted through a model built from past experience. So in a way, your dog is watching shadows on a wall too. But to understand and adapt, he has to leave the cave and palpitate and test the world outside to try and understand the causes of the sensory signals to efficiently survive, to pass on its genes. A brain, like any system, isn't passive, it's actively guessing the causes of sensory signals and makes meaning, acting and testing and constantly checking if guesses are right or not. Now, neuroscientist Dr. Yuri Buzaki flips the usual paradigm of stimuli response models on its head in his book, The Brain from Inside Out. So instead of outside in, where the world drives the brain, he argues for an inside out model. The brain starts with its own activity, supporting its own dynamic, its own expectations, and uses sensory input to find matches of the output patterns or correct itself. When we translate that to our hounds, your dog doesn't wait to see what happens at Neuropark or any other environment. It arrives with a set of expectations. For example, an open space means exploration, exploitation cycles under its own agency, expecting scents or other sensory signals telling them about other canines, humans, and animals who visit it. And the fencing and owner nearby creates a state of safety to allow for curiosity to flourish. So Neuropark becomes a testing ground for those internal models, measured by its senses. To achieve a reaction in movement, we need efficient energy regulation in any state, whether calm or aroused, or anywhere in between. Allostasis is the idea that the brain's main job is to guess and regulate the body's needs and provide for those needs in advance, not reacting but predicting what the body will require. If a dog's system predicts danger, respiration changes, heart rate may rise or lower, muscles tense, attention narrows towards the expected danger. Many action patterns are predicted, so the system is ready for the threat. This is a highly uncertain event, so it's extremely costly. There's no curiosity, no play, just high alertness towards expected threat or multiple threats, and learning is kept only to the most important bits of the experience. What worked or what didn't. But what happens inside a Neuropark facility? Well, the environment is structured so the dog's system can predict safely with gentle surprises to learn. Less uncertainty means, of course, less cost. When the dog gains more experience, we can add other things. For example, we can do structured, slow strength exercises, so physiotherapy, predictable social interactions with other dogs. We could add other humans to the space that the dogs trusts. We can add low threat of surprises like shapes and ornaments, or ornaments of different animals, or ornaments that may move or make noise. We can add structures to walk over, through, or under, etc. So, while curiosity is also metabolically expensive, we can think of it as an investment to collect dividends later on. The dividends here mean the reduced cost in future interactions and the physical benefits resulting from positive exploits found by new or updated experiences. The brain only invests in updating its models when it believes the cost is worth it. Safety opens the door to efficient exploration, becoming a valuable investment, of course, for the future. The most fundamental part to achieve this kind of natural adaptation is a Neuropark facility's adaptation maze. These are literally mazes to navigate and explore in, to decompress hard belief states a dog has through actions and more high dimensional details and learn from them. Dr. Lisa Feldman Barrett and Dr. Earl Miller describe in their paper published in Nature, Categorization is Baked into the Brain, how the brain compresses and decompresses signals into the categories. They write, categorization is the capacity to create similarity from differences, so to abstract. It is embedded in the architecture of the nervous system and can be seen by exploring what is connected with what and by observing signal flow. As neuronal circuits feed forward from sensory surfaces such as the retina or the olfactory nerves to regions of the cerebral cortex that are focused on sensory processing, such as the visual cortex, or for sense signals, the primary olfactory cortex in the temporal lobe, they then go towards the areas that are important for executive control, so the prefrontal cortex, and control of the body in the limbic cortex. And the information passes from many small, barely connected neurons to fewer, bigger, and more well-connected neurons. Such an architecture compresses sensory details into increasingly abstract representations that group many different features into smaller groups of similar features, and in doing so, helps to select a predictive motor action plan from the broader category that's already there. So the categories decompress bidirectionally to the abstractions, so that one category of action plans mix with little of another abstraction and can then cheaply adapt a behavior output in a likewise situation. So let's go back and apply this to our dogs. Your dog doesn't see this exact dog with the precise features. It expects using its past actions in ways that can play out in different instances. So let's take the friend or foe example. Motor action plans are not representations the dog has of another dog and the environment, but it is a signal processing event where the dog's brain predicts motor action plans for example, this is a safe dog, this is an uncertain dog, or is it a threatening dog? These categories and the motor action plans expressed by observable behavior output are built from its past experience, so memory. Now here's the key. Neuropark allows those categories to be refined because the environment is certain enough to increase curiosity but set with surprises to test action plans, to reinforce or update. So we may say learn small prediction errors and redefine old memories with new learned bits. When we watch a dog enter a well-designed space, they don't just run, they palpitate the environment, almost like feeling it with their whole body, sniffing arcs across the ground, pauses and scans, small approach, retreat movements. This is active inference in motion. Metaphorically, the dog is asking, is my model of this space correct? And the Neuropark answers gently, not with overwhelming surprises, but with manageable differences the dog system can learn from, allostatically efficient. So let's go through a few examples. Let's take the nervous, easily spooked dog. The dog predicts other moving things are always unpredictable. So it prepares its body for defensive behaviors to express. In busy spaces, those predictions get reinforced by efficient defensive or offensive threat responses. But at Neuropark, approaches are slower, signal processing is efficient, and escape routes are available. So the dog experiences small prediction errors in the form of, wait, that thing didn't move, it didn't escalate. So these new bits of the present experience update and reconstruct the memory. And over time, as uncertainty lowers, the model is more effective to expect other actions instead of just the typical threat responses. So it becomes some moving things are safe or at least okay. And that's just represented, that sentence is just represented in motor movements we can observe on the outside. Now, we can take another example, the so-called owner as a regulator. The human isn't just a companion. They are part of the dog's predictive model. If the owner moves calmly, scans the environment, and responds predictably, the dog's brain incorporates that, such as, my human helps me stabilize uncertainty. These type of interactions help regulate each other's nervous systems and carry each other's load, so to speak, and reduces the need for defensive and offensive predictions. So a Neuropark isn't just a physical space, it's a prediction-friendly environment with surprises. It does three critical things. It reduces catastrophic prediction errors, no sudden overwhelming threats, a feel of safety, more certainty means more curiosity for exploration to occur. And also, it allows small, manageable errors and physical benefits. Enough so to update models and support allostatic balance. Therefore, next time you watch your dog in a calm and open space, running, pausing, sniffing, circling back, you're not just watching behavior. You're watching the dog's brain's immediate signal calibrations to project its expectations onto the world. It's testing them, it's refining them, it's stepping, in a sense, out of Plato's cave. Not by seeing reality directly, but by improving in the shadow it predicts. This has been Grey Matter Hounds podcast, where dogs aren't just animals, they're prediction engines in motion. I'll see you next time for the next episode. Ciao!